Groovy English Podcast.
Hey there! Welcome back to Groovy English. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Aiden. We share real stories, useful tips, and everyday English to help you grow with confidence.
Wherever you are in your English learning journey, we're glad you're here.
If you're enjoying the podcast, feel free to like, subscribe, or share it with a friend. Let's get started.
Hello friends, welcome back to Groovy English, where we explore how language isn't just about learning, it's about living. I'm Daniel, and today's episode is called When Life Feels Heavy, Find Comfort in Words. This is a conversation for those moments when the weight of life feels just a little too much. Those mornings when you wake up and the world feels dimmer, or those evenings when your thoughts feel tangled. I want to talk about how words, in any language, but especially in English for you as a learner, can be a soft place to land. How they can become not only a tool for communication, but also a source of healing. We often think of language learning as something active, forward-moving, and full of energy. But today, I want you to imagine it as something gentle, something that can hold you when you're tired, overwhelmed, or uncertain. There's a reason people turn to poetry, song lyrics, or even small handwritten notes in difficult times. Words can give shape to emotions that otherwise feel impossible to name. When life feels heavy, your mind might get stuck in a loop of worries or fears. Words, whether read, heard, or spoken, can help break that loop, or at least make it softer. Let's start with the simplest thing, reading something short and beautiful. This doesn't have to be a novel or an academic article. It could be just a sentence or two that feels like a deep breath. For example, you might copy down a line from a book or a quote that resonates with you. Read it slowly, aloud, and notice how it changes the way you feel. The act of reading aloud, especially in English, can be strangely comforting. Your voice gives the words weight, and hearing them out loud makes them real in a different way. Some learners tell me they feel shy reading in English when they're alone. But here's a secret: it's the safest place to do it. No judgment, no rush, just you and the words. You might try a comfort library. This can be a small notebook or even a folder on your phone where you save words, phrases, or short passages that soothe you. Whenever you stumble upon something that feels gentle or hopeful, add it to your comfort library. On heavy days, you can open it and read a few entries like you would sip warm tea. If reading feels too hard, you can listen instead. Audiobooks, podcasts, or even a friend's voice note can offer the same relief. Words don't have to be yours to be comforting. Listening in English also has a grounding effect. You're focusing on the rhythm and sound of the language, which can gently pull you out of your own thoughts. One of my favorite practices is to find one English song that feels safe, not too loud, not too busy, and play it on repeat when I need calm. The repetition makes it familiar, and familiarity is deeply comforting. You can also write, even if it's just a single sentence. Today I feel heavy, but I'm here. That's enough. That one sentence acknowledges where you are and reminds you you're still moving forward. Writing in English when you're sad or stressed isn't about perfect grammar. It's about putting feelings outside of you, so you're not holding them all alone. Some people find it helpful to write to an imaginary friend or even to their future self. This gives your words a destination, and it can feel less like you're speaking into the void. You can start your letter with something simple. Dear friend, today was, and then just let your pen or your fingers keep going. If you're afraid of being too emotional in your writing, you can use metaphor. For example, instead of writing, "I feel anxious," you could write, "It feels like I'm carrying a backpack full of stones." Metaphors are powerful because they create a little distance from your feelings while still expressing them. They also help you expand your English in a creative way. If writing still feels overwhelming, you can begin by borrowing words. Copy a line from a book, then add just one sentence of your own. That's enough to start. When you interact with words during heavy times, you're building a bridge, not just between you and English, but between you and a calmer version of yourself. This is why I encourage you to create rituals around words. Maybe you always read one page of a comfort book before bed, or always listen to a favorite English poem with your morning coffee. Rituals make comfort predictable. On heavy days, you don't have to think about what to do. You simply follow the path you've already built. For some learners, prayer or meditation is part of that ritual. The repetition of familiar words, whether in your native language or in English, can be deeply grounding. You might even blend the two, say the first part in your own language, then try the same idea in English. It's a way of carrying comfort across both languages. If your heaviness comes from feeling isolated, reading aloud to someone else, even over a video call, can be surprisingly healing. Words connect people even across screens. I've had students tell me they read English bedtime stories to their children, partners, or even pets when they feel down. The act of sharing words makes them feel less alone. Sometimes the words that help you most aren't about your problems at all. They might be about the moon, or a recipe, or a memory of childhood. Comfort can come from unexpected places. In fact, the more variety your comfort library has, the more likely you'll find something that matches your mood. One day it might be a silly poem, the next day a calm essay. If you're an active learner, you can turn your comfort moments into gentle study. Circle words you like, or note phrases that feel especially soothing. But remember, the goal here is not to study hard. The goal is to let English be a friend when you need one. Sometimes that means reading something easy, something far below your current level. And that's perfectly fine. Comfort doesn't require challenge. Other times, it might mean speaking in English just to yourself. A quiet, "I'm okay," in the mirror can be more powerful than a long conversation. Self-talk in English is underrated. It's a way to both practice and soothe yourself at the same time. If you struggle to find the right words for comfort, you can collect them over time. Words like safe, peace, gentle, light. Build your own vocabulary of calm. On days when you feel too heavy to even open a book, let words come to you passively. Play an English audiobook while you rest, without worrying about understanding every detail. Your brain still receives the rhythm and sound of the language, and that rhythm can be like waves against the shore, steady, soothing, always there. Sometimes, heavy days also make our world feel small. Words can open it up again, reminding us that there's more beyond what we're feeling now. They can remind us of past joys and future hopes, even if we can't quite reach them today. You don't need hours to feel the effect. Even a 2-minute interaction with comforting words can shift something inside you. If you want, you can pair your words with another sensory anchor, a favorite tea, a soft blanket, a walk outside. This makes the comfort stronger. When you look back later, you may realize those small word moments were what helped you through. They won't erase the heaviness, but they can give you something steady to hold on to until the weight feels lighter. And the beautiful thing? Comfort in words is something you can give to yourself anytime, anywhere. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions. You don't have to be in the mood. You can simply start one sentence, one song, one poem. Over time, these moments of comfort become part of your relationship with English. They turn it from a subject you study into a companion you trust. And that's when English becomes more than just a skill. It becomes a safe space. You might find that certain kinds of writing feel more comforting than others. For some, it's descriptive writing, capturing the shape of clouds, the taste of tea, or the smell of bread baking. These sensory details create a safe, tangible space where your mind can rest. Others might prefer reflective writing, asking yourself questions like, "What's the kindest thing someone did for me this week?" Or, "What's one thing I learned about myself today?" These prompts invite you to turn your focus inward, away from the noise of the outside world. There's also the option of storytelling. Even if the story is fictional, weaving characters and plots allows you to process emotions in a disguised, gentle way. Sometimes it's easier to give your feelings to a character than to face them directly in your own name. You can also create comfort pages, a personal collection of quotes, lyrics, or short passages that make you feel understood. Whenever life feels heavy, you open those pages and remember you're not alone in what you're feeling. Poetry can be a lifeline here, even if you don't usually read it. The rhythm, the condensed imagery, and the careful choice of words often hold emotions that prose can't quite reach. Writing your own short poem, even a few lines, can help distill what's overwhelming into something more manageable. If you struggle to start, try a free write for 10 minutes. Don't edit, don't judge, and don't stop your pen from moving. The goal isn't perfection. It's permission to say what needs to be said without fear of how it will sound. Sometimes the act of handwriting can be comforting on its own. The steady motion of pen across paper, the soft scratch of ink, can feel grounding. You're not just thinking, you're physically creating something. Another way to find comfort in words is to write letters you don't send. A letter to a younger you. A letter to someone you miss. A letter to a person who hurt you, where you say what you couldn't at the time. These letters can be powerful releases, even if they live only in your notebook. If you enjoy structure, journaling methods like the 3 Good Things exercise can be a gentle daily ritual. Simply write down 3 positive things from your day, no matter how small. This shifts your focus toward what's still good, even when life feels heavy. For language learners, writing in your second language during hard times might feel intimidating, but it can also bring surprising clarity. Sometimes, a different language allows you to express emotions in new ways or softens the weight of certain memories. Your comfort words don't always have to be written by you. Rereading a favorite childhood book or revisiting a well-loved novel can be like wrapping yourself in a familiar blanket. The familiarity of the sentences can feel like coming home. Music lyrics are another source of comfort. Reading the words separately from the song can help you focus on their meaning, discovering new layers you missed when listening. When you write about heavy emotions, it's important to balance release with care. After writing something difficult, follow it up with something gentle, a comforting scene, a favorite memory, a reminder of your strengths. Some people find healing in gratitude letters, writing to thank someone who helped you, even in a small way. You don't even have to send it. The act of writing it is enough to shift your heart. Writing about nature can also help when life feels heavy. Describing the way sunlight falls through your window or how rain sounds on your roof can be grounding. Nature gives us language that's both simple and profound. If you want a sense of progress, create a comfort diary where you write one encouraging sentence to yourself every day. Over time, you'll have pages of kindness you've gifted yourself. Sometimes, comfort comes from rewriting a difficult story. Take a hard memory and imagine how it might have gone differently. You're not erasing the truth, you're giving yourself a new way to hold it. For those who like organization, keeping themed notebooks can be soothing. One notebook for worries, one for dreams, one for gratitude, one for poetry. This separation can make your thoughts feel more contained. If you're more of a speaker than a writer, try recording voice notes. Speak your thoughts out loud, then play them back later. Sometimes hearing your own voice can be more comforting than seeing words on a page. Another comfort tool is word collecting. Keep a list of words, in your native language or a second language, that feel warm, safe, or beautiful to you. Words themselves can be small pieces of joy. If you write in English but it's not your first language, don't worry about mistakes. Comfort writing is about expression, not correctness. In fact, sometimes your unique phrasing becomes the most beautiful part. Some days, comfort writing might be one long letter to yourself. Other days, it might be a single sentence. Both are equally valid. The size of the comfort doesn't matter, the presence of it does. If you ever feel stuck, change your environment. Write in a cafe, a park, or even from your bed with a cup of tea. A new setting can change the way words flow and help you see your thoughts differently. Writing at the same time every day can also make it a safe ritual. Your mind starts to recognize that time as a pause from everything else, a space just for you. If you want to connect comfort writing with creativity, try describing imaginary places where you'd like to rest. Maybe it's a cabin in the mountains or a beach at sunset. Let the details be rich enough that you can almost step inside. When you share your comfort words with someone you trust, you might find that they give comfort back. Connection can grow from mutual vulnerability. Over time, your comfort words might surprise you. You'll look back at what you wrote months or years ago and realize how far you've come, how you've grown lighter, stronger, or more hopeful. Words are not just symbols on a page. They are a way of holding yourself steady. When life feels heavy, they can be your anchor, your light, and your soft place to land. Sometimes comfort comes from repetition. Writing the same sentence over and over, like "I am safe" or "this moment will pass," can turn words into a steady rhythm, almost like a heartbeat on the page. You might also explore writing in shapes or patterns. Let your sentences spiral, form waves, or create columns. The act of arranging words visually can be as soothing as the words themselves. Lists can be surprisingly comforting. Make a list of everything that makes you feel calm. Scents, places, songs, faces, foods. On hard days, read the list slowly, letting each item bring a small wave of ease. Some find it helpful to write a comfort script, a short passage they can read aloud to themselves when emotions feel too big. It might be an encouraging pep talk, a gentle reminder, or even a poem you wrote for this exact moment. There's also comfort in documenting tiny joys. That first sip of coffee in the morning, a laugh you shared with a friend, the way the streetlights look after rain. Capturing these moments in words keeps them alive. If you're artistic, pairing words with sketches, doodles, or colors can deepen the comfort. Even the act of choosing a pen color that matches your mood can be a small but intentional act of self-care. Sometimes the most healing words are the ones you'll never show anyone. They are for you alone, raw, unedited, and private. That privacy can make them feel even more honest and safe. You could also write future comfort letters, notes to yourself for days you know will be difficult, like anniversaries or deadlines. Seal them in envelopes and open them when you need encouragement. For those who enjoy rituals, try beginning and ending your day with a short line of comfort. Let it be the first and last thing you see in your journal. Over time, this habit builds a gentle sense of continuity. Perhaps the most comforting thing about words is that they will always be there. They don't expire, they don't get impatient, and they don't judge. When life feels heavy, they wait quietly, ready to hold what you cannot carry alone. One of the beautiful ways to find comfort in words is to revisit the stories you loved as a child. The familiar rhythms and simple truths of those pages can feel like an old friend sitting beside you. You might also take comfort in reciting meaningful quotes aloud. The sound of a strong, wise sentence spoken in your own voice can bring both grounding and reassurance. Reading letters from loved ones, even short notes, can be a reminder that you're not alone. These pieces of writing carry the weight of care, history, and connection. When you can't find the right words yourself, borrow them. Copy down a poem, a prayer, or a passage that speaks to your heart. Let someone else's expression hold you until your own voice returns. If you're feeling disconnected, write to someone you miss. You don't have to send the letter. The act of forming the sentences can bridge the emotional distance. Comfort can also come from rereading your own past writing. Old journals, forgotten blog posts, or even old social media captions can remind you of the times you've faced challenges before and kept going. Sometimes just playing with language is soothing. Make up rhymes, invent words, or write tongue twisters. There's a lightness in letting language be fun rather than serious. If you're multilingual, switch between languages when writing. Some feelings are easier to hold in certain tongues, and this freedom can bring a deep sense of release. You could even create a personal comfort anthology, a notebook filled only with words, sentences, and passages that bring you peace. It becomes a personalized refuge you can return to anytime. The simple act of picking up a pen or opening a blank document is a declaration that your feelings matter enough to be expressed. In heavy moments, that small choice is already an act of strength. I hope you'll take a moment to choose one comforting word or phrase and carry it with you for the rest of the day. Let it be your pocket-sized reminder that you're not alone. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Daniel, and this has been Groovy English. Until next time, take care of yourself, and let words take care of you too.
Your English is shining brighter by the minute. Hit that next video to keep leveling up your skills. Or dive into our other episodes for more secrets to talk like a pro. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to join the Groovy English crew.